Can you just let us know if you can see and hear us? Great. Thank you everyone for joining our live today. This is the first live that I am doing in collaboration with SARABETH.
Hi, I am Clara's niece, so she's my auntie, and I'm joining her today for her favorite, Chanel, of course.
Yes, so welcome to the family. We decided that we wanted to do a collaboration together. Sarah is my niece, and she is totally into fashion. In fact, she is very knowledgeable on fashion. It's quite amazing. It's something I discovered when she was a teenager, especially when she came to Hong Kong. I brought her out to the boutiques, and oh my goodness, she has a wealth of knowledge on fashion. And she is also the creative director, correct, for NYU Fashion Club. Or can you tell me a bit about the fashion club you're part of and what you do and how you're involved?
So I actually recently just graduated from university. So right now I have not been working on this project, but when I was in university, I was the creative director of the fashion organization there. So I had the opportunity to run a fashion show with like a $9,000 budget that was allotted to me. And it was super successful, raised a lot of money, was able to donate it to the CFDA, which is the Council of Fashion Designers for America. And that went to incubating new young designers. So, yeah.
Yeah, so definitely she has a lot of knowledge on fashion in general, probably much more than me. However, today we are doing a video on the latest, well, not the latest because we just saw the fall winter show come out, but we wanted to talk about the spring summer show, mainly because it was what we were looking at before. And also this is what available in the shops if you're looking at Chanel. And just to give a view of what our favorite looks are, what are the looks we dislike, and just to see what our thoughts are on these items from a Gen X point of view, which is me, middle-aged woman, and Millennial, my niece, who is fresh out of school, and she may have a different view on some of the Chanel items. So obviously she is a fresh grad.
Which
So
means I'm broke, so I'm not buying any of this like
correct.
my auntie. My auntie is viewing this from a consumer standpoint. She's been buying Chanel for a long, long time. Me, on the other hand, I've never bought anything from Chanel. However, I do have the Chanel from the magazine that I ripped out to sample. But other than that, I have no Chanel. And I don't plan on buying any Chanel anytime soon because I'm broke. So I think that would be really interesting for you guys just to see the different perspectives from someone that views Chanel from a buying or consumerist standpoint versus someone who's seeing it purely from a more design or artistry standpoint.
Great. I'm really happy to be doing this because obviously she'll be looking at it more from a designer viewpoint, as she mentioned, and me as a consumer. So let's get started. I think you had some comments about the campaign. So let's just show a quick view of the campaign and you can make some comments about this campaign. Obviously, yeah, so I'm just showing that on the screen of the spring summer campaign.
Great. So as you guys can see, this is the campaign that they had for Spring Summer 21. And what I do want to say is I think they did an amazing job. I personally did not like this collection at all. I didn't find it very, it didn't feel like it had any heritage or it wasn't very cohesive. But I think they put it together really well by using Charlotte here. And she is, if you don't know, she is in the royal blood of Monaco. And why I think this is really important is because a lot of people have been not buying Chanel because they know that Carl has passed away. And you can tell there's a difference between the design because they have a new creative director now. I think her name is Virginia or something.
Yes.
She has taken over now that Carl has passed away. And because of that, a lot of people are like, do you know what? Carl was mainly the bloodline of Chanel, and we don't want this anymore. So I think by casting Charlotte here, it was a great idea because they kind of brought back that heritage, that Frenchness, the royalty that Chanel once did have when Carl was there. And if you don't know, she is in the royal bloodline of Monaco, as I said, and her mother is, her name is Caroline, Princess Caroline of Monaco. Caroline was lifelong friends with Carl. They worked together starting early 70s, which is a while ago. Carl was just a young designer back then, and he used her, which is this girl right here, her mother, as a muse. So it's just really interesting to see just that continuation of the mother to the daughter now that his original muse is somewhere in there, even though he's gone. And another fun fact about that is her grandma, and then the one right here, this girl Charlotte, and Caroline, Princess Caroline's mother, is Grace Kelly, the actress and princess. Grace Kelly, if you don't know, is where Hermes, the Kelly bag, got its name from. So another fashion reference in there. But yeah, I just wanted to say that starting from the top because they did a great job by casting her. They kind of just wrapped it all up together with her, and she's beautiful. She's gorgeous. She is also very smart, and she is well spoken. So I think they made a correct decision here.
Oh, that's so interesting. I didn't know that fact. And it makes sense because when Carl left, a lot of people were saying, oh, we don't know if Virginia would be able to carry on kind of like the same type of legacy that Carl did. So it's quite interesting. It's kind of like a transgenerational kind of succession planning. So that is like so interesting to know. I never knew that. I just knew that she was from royalty, and we were talking on the live chat yesterday. And if you don't already follow Kat and Amy, they were saying, "Oh, we're thinking about is it because they're trying to appeal to more of those royalty type of people." Etc., more to haute couture, which could be possibly one of the reasons. But I think it's quite interesting with the whole succession transition type of story. That's really cool. I didn't know that. Thanks for that, Sarah. So moving on, I thought we're just going to get into the topics of what we wanted to talk about. And again, as I said, I am looking at this purely from a consumer point of view in terms of the ready to wear and some of the items from this fashion show and what I like. So I picked 3 looks, and I don't know if Sarah has seen these looks before, but I'm going to show you the looks that I like, and maybe Sarah can comment on them, whether she approves or she disapproves for her auntie, because obviously I'm Gen X, she's millennial, and one of my challenges is also to look younger because obviously I'm no longer going to look like a college student, but anyways, she always has a good eye for these kind of things. So the first look that I picked out is look number 4. So I'm just scrolling at the screen. You can see here, I really like this Chanel jacket. It's kind of got the spring colors, which you see in their bags. There's like a lot of pastel pinks and lavenders. And you can see that this season, there's like a lot of drop shoulders. So I think if you've been following Chanel for a while, you'll see this like large drop shoulder look, and it could work for you. It might not work for you. You can see it's slightly baggier around here, and I do actually have one or two Chanel jackets from recent seasons, and goodness, because I've like gained weight, I actually don't mind that this part is like a bit looser because like my bulging like they call this like bye-bye meat because you go bye-bye. Anyways, I won't show that, but will fit through those large armholes. So although I don't know if this drop shoulder kind of like bulging arm part will last through time, I think it's quite interesting that they've done it. But something we've noticed about Virginie is that all her latest pieces tend to be more wearable or more comfortable, more day to day, and less kind of like bam, wow, in your face with Carl. So this is kind of the first look I picked, and I picked it according to what I could potentially buy if I had the money. Obviously, I don't have money growing on trees, so but this is potentially kind of what I would buy based on the looks that I see. So back to my fashion advisor, Sarah, what do you think if I were to potentially consider this jacket?
Okay, so right off the bat, I'm just saying this from my point of view, and I grew up with social media, and I use social media a lot, and I know a lot of you online do too. This has come back as a trend full force because this kind of layering and the vest underneath for women was really popular late 90s, early 2000s. And with the growth of TikTok and Instagram influencers, that trend is just really full force, the year 2000 Y2K. So I think that there's a lot of inspiration from that within this one outfit. And I personally like it. I love the little layering and the little vest, and I like the colors. It's pretty muted, but there's still a lot of character in it with the blue and the white. And I also do, and someone also said in the chat that they liked it with shorts. And I am a person that likes to kind of make stuff cooler or just add some swagginess into a fit. So this is definitely something I would love to see you in. And when you were talking about the drop shoulder, that is a reoccurring theme within this collection. Personally am not that much of a fan because I just find a little bit uncomfortable wearing it. But I do want to draw a comparison. The first thing that I think of when I see this jacket, especially the material and the drop shoulder, reminds me, I'm a big Comme des Garçons fan. So this jacket really does remind me of Comme des Garçons fall winter 1999 because there was a lot of drop shoulder and tweed within that collection. So there are a few parallels, not a lot, but within this one look, that is what I think of.
I agree. Well, here's my kind of view on the vest. I'm not sure if I would wear the vest. It kind of gives me a bit of, when you go into a restaurant and like they wear those like vests, it gives me like a bit of like waiter vibes. I'm not sure. Well, I'm sure you can dress it in a way that looks really stylish,
sure.
but I don't think I can pull off that vest type of look, and you'd probably have to wear something underneath because that looks like super low. So
Right. Well, you would probably wear a button down underneath it. That's what usually people wear underneath.
yeah, probably like a button down, like you said. And then something with sleeves just because, I gotta hide the COVID arms, right? So which kind of helps. So, but yeah, I always love the tweed. I'm not sure if I really like this strip here. I feel it's kind of out of place. I don't know what you think.
It looks sloppy.
Yeah. Yeah, unfortunately. I do like the shorts. Someone was saying that the shorts were really cool. I might not necessarily buy Chanel shorts because I don't really see what's so special about these shorts. I mean, there could be some work in there that's really good. But yeah, shorts are always really good for the summer. The shoes, yeah, I'm not a big fan of. What about you? The
I have
sandals.
no opinion on those shoes. I don't. They look pretty normal to me.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So let's move to the next look. And the next look is actually an item my essay actually sent to me. And I think Sarah know which one it is. And it's look number 5. So some of you may know I am totally soft spot for pink. So I think my essay knows this. And because of that, she sent me this jacket, which is in a baby pink color. I'd say that I really love the color. I did not try on this jacket because I'm trying not to go to Chanel because I'm trying to like save money for other items. But definitely if it was the right time, and I was doing more Chanel, I would definitely go in and at least try on this jacket. So you can see it's double-breasted. I don't know if this would work out very well because it would tend to have like a more boxy type of look. And on my frame, I don't know if I could carry it off. Again, she's like in these like really long shorts.
Yeah, she's wearing the
Again, wouldn't
Bermuda
be
shorts.
attractive for me. Yeah, I don't know. They remind me of like the biker shorts. You know how the biker shorts were really
Yeah,
in?
yeah, yeah. I'm not really into the Bermuda short look, but I think it kind of goes along with the rest of the look because of that very Y2K vibe.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I'm not too sure about that strip too. I don't know. Yeah, and the sandals, I don't know if it goes with the look, but apparently this is kind of the thing. And again, it's got the vest inside. Again, I'm not a big fan of the vest. I know it's like a really big thing, and maybe some people can make it look really good, but I find it might be like too trendy for me. And as you know, these are all expensive items, so I prefer something that is a bit more long lasting. So yeah, what do you think of this jacket?
I mean, first thing is it's pink, so very you. Um, and I think it's a blush pink, so it's pretty easy to match. But I think the mix of colors, because it's like the pastel pink and the pastel blue, and then all of a sudden there's the black T-shirt underneath. It's so stark of a contrast. It just looks like George Washington vibes a little bit because it's layered like that. But it looks like a school project, fourth grade. I have to dress up as George Washington. I'm going through my closet and putting on random stuff to show up to school so I don't get an F on my project. Like that's the vibe I'm getting from this outfit because it's thrown together. The colors are a little awkward. The fit is awkward. The shirt, the neck of the shirt goes really high, contrasting with the low V cut of the vest underneath. And there's Bermuda shorts, which is a very young girl thing to kind of wear, in pink. So I think it's funny, and also the way the Chanel is written down, it's vertical. It reminds me a little bit of the past collection, Chanel collection with was it robots where they had like code.
Yeah, they had the
Code
robots,
circle, the
so the
Chanel
Chanel
logo.
coding.
It was
Yeah.
vertical, so that kind of reminds me of that a little bit.
Mm. Yeah, I find that this look is just really, really busy. There was a question about what's double-breasted versus single-breasted. So double-breasted is like kind of like double row of buttons you can see along here, and single-breasted is just basically one row of buttons. So it's kind of like if you look at pea coats, they're like double buttons, double-breasted.
It kind of
And then
overlaps.
yeah, they overlap. So yeah, this was the second look. I like the color. I don't really like the total look. And even having said that, I don't know if the style is too boxy for me. So yeah, kind of a pass. And then my last look, look 42 is actually a vest. I don't know if I could really pull off this look, to be honest, because I have COVID arms. However, if I was like very skinny and I had toned arms, I would like this. What I really like is if you look at this vest, look at that beautiful detailing. It's
Mm-hmm.
white, it's got the beautiful beads on it. And I can see this being something that you can wear for many years if you're able to pull off the look. And it's less of that kind of waiter type of vest type of look. So I actually like this one a little bit better. So this was my third pick. In terms of ready to wear from the collection, if I really had to forcibly buy something or look at something from this collection. So yeah, I mean the total look, not sure about the dress. I think I would be pretty clumsy because I still have to take the train to work. I'm not going to be, running around in that type of skirt in the street. Um, yeah, and she's got like that tiny miniature bag. I mean, that's just too small for me. And um just a quick comment on the Chanel, like these little bags. As everyone knows, like a lot of price increases in Chanel. So a lot of like the larger bags are now almost the price of Hermes. So I think they're still trying to attract like younger people, millennials like you. So they're also trying to create new clients and attract new traffic for people who want to buy more affordable goods. So you're seeing more and more of these like tiny little bags that are really expensive. And I think it's because they're still trying to cater to those people who can still afford smaller items or new clientele who just want a little bit of Chanel to kind of build their profile before they actually buy a larger bag. So um, it's really
Mm-hmm.
cute, but for me, I would generally only get this if I already had the bag or like the actual bag that I can use on a daily basis. It would be an additional accessory. I mean, it's cute, but I don't know what you can put in that. Maybe some cards. I
Drugs.
don't know. I have no idea. Would you ever buy this little like
I think
accessory?
it's so cute. If I had a baby, I would buy it for my baby if I had money after having a baby. Um, but I guess going off what you just said about little bags, I totally agree with trying to capture that younger audience. But I also want to say that the tiny bag has been a trend after Jacquemus first brought out their little miniature bag, and that kind of set off a lot of other major fashion houses into creating mini versions of their bags because they saw a lot of people were super into their Jacquemus bags and they wanted to hop on the trend. So you can see if you go on runway for the past 3 years, you'll see at least like 5 every season have a new version of the mini bag. And now a lot of collections are starting to incorporate the mini bag into like fully onto the outfit. So if you saw the recent Prada, they had gloves with the little little pocket, but it
Little
kind of looks like a
sack
bag.
or the
Yeah, and I don't think that it's was created a few years ago because obviously not. This mini bag thing has been around in high fashion for a long, long time, but I think it became really popular after Jacquemus brought it back into the spotlight. And I think otherwise, it's a really bad decision. I mean, you're really paying for 3 inches of material and you can't put nothing in there. So what are you gonna do with it? You just put lipstick in there. I don't know. It's kind of awkward.
just out of curiosity, did you have many friends that were into this like mini, like tiny micro
Yes, I
bag?
knew. So I remember a few years ago when it came out, a bunch of my friends were buying all the little Jacquemus bags, and I had one friend, and she got the round Jacquemus bag, and she put a clementine in it. Like there was nothing else to fit in there but a tiny orange. Like, I think that's hilarious. And if you have the means to do so, go ahead. Like that's awesome and funny. But otherwise, save your money. I mean, eat dinner, not have a bag instead of.
But how did they use it? Did they use it as an accessory, or did they just really actually just bring it out and then like put their wallet in their back pocket or something like that?
Yeah, it really just didn't fit anything, so they would just have it on their neck.
Oh, it was like a necklace type of thing.
Yeah, a lot of people wear it
And
as an underwear bag, and there was nothing
yeah,
inside.
and actually there is an accessory that came out as a bag, which we'll talk about later. But so tell me, what do you think of this other vest?
I don't know, it looks sloppy. It just looks. I mean, the skirt makes it look worse because it just looks like a towel. You know, when you're like on a cruise and they're like, "Get out of the pool, it's closing," and you're like, "Oh my god, I gotta go." So then you throw a towel and you're like running through the hallway so no one sees you. Like that's what she looks like. And the top
Mm,
also. I mean, the top looks a little bit like I don't know. It kind of looks sloppy because it's a little oversized. And I'm not a big fan of the drop shoulder once again because I don't like looking like the Hulk. I mean, her shoulders look really broad. She looks like she's about to like throw hands at someone in a towel. That's not kind of the look I'm going for here.
okay. I kind of see it as a way of kind of like hiding a bit of like the like if you're like really broad or if you have a lot of meat here. I'm not sure if it would
Mm-hmm.
be able to hide that. But yeah, but what really attracts me to this is more the workmanship of the beads here, which is really
Definitely.
pretty. Yeah, I like the workmanship on there. I'm not sure if I would actually get this, but like I would definitely want to try it on just to look at the workmanship on here. It's really nice. So
Definitely.
yeah, so those are my three outfits. So now it's Sarah's turn, and she's going to pick out three outfits that she just totally didn't like.
Okay, so
And
I'm gonna start with look 8.
okay, give me a second. I'm just gonna pull up look
Yeah,
8.
no problem. All right, so this is look 8. First of all, that thing is really tight. That's so like if you eat a piece of if you eat breakfast, you're not fitting in that outfit. Okay? Drink a one drop of breathe. You can't breathe either. Um okay, well the first thing I have to say is I love how there's just arms. It's not even gloves. It's just arms and it matches the rest of the jumpsuit. I
Oh,
mean,
it's like the UV, it's like the UV arms.
yeah. I mean, I don't see very much Chanel in this. I think they tried to make the brand have a new kind of silhouette and a new look with this, but they failed. And when I look at it really fast, it reminds me of Eddie Slimane for Yves Saint Laurent because of the color palette, the silhouette, the shape of the neckline, the way it's strappy, the way it hugs your legs and your body, and it looks a little bit stretchy. That's super YSL Eddie Slimane. I mean, I can't even, if you showed me this, I wouldn't even have thought it was Chanel. And I don't think that's a good thing. So, what do you think about this?
I don't like it either. It's kind of like, I don't know, it's borderline what you would see like those superhero cartoons.
I mean, but what if she has to pee? She's
Yeah, what is
going to
The
be a hero.
Incredibles? It's like it looks like an Incredibles outfit.
Yeah.
But yeah, it's definitely very, very restrictive looking. I don't know if this part would be comfortable, like you said.
And if you have
And
a bigger
plus,
bust,
I don't, if
you're
yeah, if you
busted
had
out
a
of it.
bigger bust, oh my goodness, like
Mm-mm.
I don't know how that would show. And I didn't even notice the sleeves, but you're right. They look like UV sleeves. They look like the sleeves I use when I go for golfing.
Yeah.
Um, so I don't know, like if you wore this in the sun, you would get a strange suntan too. That's all I could think of when I'm looking at this. So yeah, I don't like it. It looks
I just wish it
really
was gloves.
uncomfortable. And I don't know, like you have to have a body like hers to pull this off seriously. I mean, I think in the last collection there were also a lot of leggings also, and they're just, like for a lot of women, unless you have like gorgeous legs, it's very hard to pull off leggings like that. Like I mean,
Ooh,
even
I
for myself,
disagree.
I
I think
always have to wear like a shirt to cover my butt.
I disagree. I think curvy girls, I think all women look amazing in tight outfits because it shows off their curves and their body. And I think that's kind of what they're trying to do here is just show the beauty of the woman's body or anyone's body, whoever's wearing it. It doesn't have to be a woman. Um, so I think that it can look great on anyone who tries to wear it. I think it would just be very restrictive and wouldn't fit well on someone that isn't her. Well, as in you would have trouble moving or doing anything practical in it because of the way it holds onto the body.
Mm-mm. Yeah, I'm definitely not confident enough to wear
Yeah.
that.
Me neither.
Oh, okay.
And
So what was the second look that
my
you didn't
next
like as much?
look is, I wrote it down. Let me see. Do you have the, oh, just kidding. Look 27.
Okay, interesting.
I mean, what is this? This is so ugly. This doesn't even look like Chanel. It's like, first of all, it's like she's built like a pillowcase. It looks like she's wearing a pillowcase, right? Is that a pillowcase or not? That's straight up a pillowcase. It's a striped pillowcase. It looks like it's from Target or like the drugstore or something. It doesn't. The silhouette of it is sloppy looking. The colors are very strange. She's wearing it with loafers. I mean, dude, they look like whoever designed this whole collection, Virginia, whatever her name is, she looks like she rushed so fast to make this. Like she had a deadline. They're like, okay, you got to submit this by 1 a.m. on Thursday. And she did this whole thing like 2 hours before. Like you can tell that looks really confused and sloppy. I don't like this. It doesn't give me Chanel vibes. And I feel like a lot of times Carl has done a lot of experimental things, but his were filled with artistry and heritage. And I just don't think this pairs well with the purse. It doesn't pair well with the shoes. It doesn't pair well with the bracelet. So not a fan. Would you buy this?
Yeah, no,
Yeah, me neither.
no,
I think
it
everyone would buy it.
doesn't look Chanel. I'm just scrolling through this to see where the work has been put in because, all the pricing is sometimes in the details other than the design. So I'm just looking at this here. So it looks like they slapped on different materials. So you can see there's like tweed here. And then the piping, they put in different materials. I don't know. It just looks like, I don't know, like some type of craft work, you know, and the design looks like the stickers I would put in my agenda as borders. It's just, yeah, it's just, I don't like the colors. The patterns are not very coherent, and even the design, it doesn't, make accentuate her body, or I don't know. I mean, maybe it's comfortable. Maybe that's the
No,
reason
it
this was
doesn't look
made because she
comfortable.
likes, I don't know if she's comfortable because it's wide.
Mm-mm.
Um, but yeah, I doesn't look Chanel at all. Um, yeah, I would definitely not wear this. So this is no. I agree. I
Yep.
don't like this. It looks like someone just took like a bunch of pieces that they had in the warehouse and just,
It's a
put them
pillowcase.
all over a piece of cloth just to make a piece like last minute,
It
like
looks
you
like a
said.
pillowcase. That's what I'll have to say.
Yeah, I agree with you on this one. I don't like it at all.
All right. Now that we have that under the belt. We can go to the closing look of the collection, look 70, which I don't even know how they made 70 looks, to be fair. Because they were all super random, and they didn't even look like they were from the same collection. There was no cohesive theme. I mean, this is the last look. That means it has to be cool. It's the last one. Leave the impression on the audience.
Like the last impression.
I mean, what is this? I think that this is a nice dress for not Chanel. I mean, when I see it, I think it looks like those smaller upcoming brand type dresses that are on Moda Operandi, or even something from Rodarte, something from Erdem. But it doesn't give me that really strong Chanel heritage, and I think that's something that Chanel really leans on for its customer base. Because if I'm buying Chanel, I'm not buying something that looks like it can be from Rodarte or from Erdem or any small brand on Moda Operandi. I'm buying it because I know it's Chanel and everyone's going to know it's Chanel. I mean, maybe not for some people, but that's the general consensus about purchasing from there. And I didn't feel like this was a strong look. I didn't think that it proved anything. I don't think there's anything special about it. And with the resources and the time and the commitment and, I mean, everything that Chanel really has built its base on, and this is what you're putting out, this is disappointing. Come on, get it together. What am I looking at? Why are the shoes not matching? I think there's just a lot going on within this collection. It makes me not want to purchase it. I don't want to look at it. And I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah, that's something I've noticed throughout the collection. So based on what my essay told me was that, a lot of the collection before it goes out onto the runway, before it goes out, Carl will have a last look, and what he'll do is he'll match the outfit with like the shoes and the accessories and the bags and everything to give it like a total look. Because to me, Chanel is a total look house. When you buy the clothes, there's like a matching bag, the accessory, the hair pieces, the shoes. And when I look at this collection, what I'm also noticing just scrolling through this is that you find that things don't really go well together. Like it's got like maybe the wrong shoes or the accessories don't match it. It doesn't have a very good kind of total look. And I agree with you here. It's like the dress itself is pretty. I not too crazy about the print. There's too much logo. Maybe it's a bit of a logo mania that people are still after this. I don't like the particular necklace she's paired it with. It's too chunky for this dress. And then it's kind of conflicting with the shoes that just don't go with it. So I can appreciate the workmanship that's gone into making this shape of a dress. I mean, I'm sure the fabric is probably quite nice and the way it flows is probably really nice, but I personally would not even try this on. It's just, it looks very busy. And it just, it just doesn't look appealing to me. And then this part is translucent. It's kind of okay. There's some cover, but like, again, I just wouldn't be confident to be like showing so much skin underneath, unless like you have a very confident body shape. So yeah, I agree. I don't like this. And one of the big differences I see between Carl and Virginie, and I mean, they each have their strengths and weaknesses, is that, when the total look comes out, I feel the total look is less coherent and less well matched. So, yeah.
Mm-hmm. And just to elaborate on that, I don't necessarily think that things that don't perfectly match are bad. I'm a huge fan of Rei Kawakubo, who obviously made her entire brand based off of contrasting. But the way that she contrasts is really strong. It has deep meaning, and people who are wearing it can feel it in the way they express themselves. And I mean, Margiela as well. There's a lot of contrast in there, but the contrast isn't misplaced. It's done purposefully and with a lot of strength and with a lot of honor, and I don't see that in these. So that's my just to clarify there.
Mm. I don't know. Do you feel among your peers and friends in the fashion community, do they still like the look of Chanel the way it looks like
No.
now?
Most of my, I mean, for those who don't know me, most of my friends do work within the industry, whether they're stylists or anything in the industry. Yeah. And I don't know of anyone who would really even go out of their way to buy anything Chanel. First of all, the price for what it is not worth it. You can get something that looks inspired for cheaper, or you can buy something that you like and buy like a bunch of them for the same price as something that's Chanel. So that's the first thing. If they are buying Chanel, they're buying a plain black bag. I don't even know what they're called because I don't know anything about Chanel, but you know what I'm talking about, like the classic flap bag or whatever it is. That's the one they're getting because it's the most versatile. Everyone knows what it is, and they can probably sell it pretty easily. Other than that, the general consensus around people that I know about Chanel is that it's boring and it's old, and that's not the look that you want to be wearing when you're a young person exploring who you are. And I think that's a big contrast. For example, for Prada, Prada is also a huge heritage brand, but Prada is able to mix the current trends with their own heritage and put out new stuff, but also holding really strong onto their own identity. And I think that's what separates something from Prada and to something with Chanel, is because they're able to build on something that they've had while making it new. And then if you think of something the opposite, would be like Balenciaga. They've completely strayed off of what they were originally. There's not much of this similar thing. And you can tell that Balenciaga isn't the original Balenciaga. So there's kind of like a spectrum here. It's like Chanel is original, and it's so original that people are almost getting bored of it, and it's signifying a certain type of person that they don't want to be because it's like an older. Then there's something in the middle where it's like Prada. That's old and the new. That's where I want to be right now. And then there's something like Balenciaga that's just way far in the future, and it's not holding on to a lot from its past. So that's just something to think about. There's not a lot of innovation going on within the Chanel house. There are definitely a bunch of things that I would love to have. I personally would love to buy, but it's not because it's Chanel. It's because it's funky looking, or I can honestly get a similar design somewhere else. So if it's not a reoccurring customer or someone who genuinely just always loved Chanel, like you, Auntie, they're not really going for it. And I think what separates you from that other person is that you always loved Chanel. That's something that you saved up for when you were younger, and it means a lot to you. And I mean, you also are able to use your income for it, and you know a lot about it. So that's different for you versus someone who's kind of exploring and they're younger and they want to have that new look. That's not something they're going for. Also, you are older than them, so that is another difference.
Mhm. That's quite interesting that you say that, because I really feel Chanel is trying to make an effort to be
Mm-hmm.
more youthful. So you could see that in a lot of the celebrities that they've hired, like people like Jennie from Blackpink and
Mm-hmm.
a couple of other
I love Jennie.
celebrities. They're really trying to target a younger crowd. And it's interesting that you say that a lot of their styles are still pretty traditional compared to, say, a Prada or a Balenciaga. So whilst I can see they are trying to make stuff more youthful, I think they're probably not as avant-garde as some of the other brands. And maybe that's because they're more tied to the tradition. But having said that, I do see that, it is kind of going in a different direction. And I don't know, when I look at a lot of these items, like people always say that Virginie stuff is more wearable, it's more comfortable. But yeah, I don't really see anything that's very revolutionary or very different that kind of had what Carl had, where you look at it and you're like, wow, boom, like, I really want that. So yeah, it's quite interesting to hear your view on that.
I think also about, sorry to interrupt you, about Virginie or whatever her name is. I'm trying to make this parallel. I feel like she's in that spot, same as after Tom Ford left Gucci. So after Tom Ford left Gucci, he had a really, really strong theme. His was a lot of sexuality and exploring who you are through your own body, and that was his own theme. And once Tom Ford left, then this other woman, Freda, came in, and she was trying to build off of that, but also put in her own and also have that original Gucci feel. And it was such a fail, and no one wanted it. It doesn't look good. People looking back, if you look back and you try to find a Tom Ford Gucci dress, you're going in tens of thousands of dollars. Those are so rare, and people are willing to spend tens of thousands for this old Tom Ford Gucci. But then think about Freda, she's almost out of the picture. No one really even knows who she is. And that's kind of what I think Virginie is to Chanel, is she's in here right after a super iconic and really strong part of a fashion house. And she's trying to keep up with it by building on something old, but it's not working because she's trying to mix her own identity with something that was before her and something bigger than her. That's what I think.
So there's a comment here from Bags and Bunnies. Would like to hear your overall thoughts on designs from the current creative director versus Carl. So I haven't been following Carl for too long, but I felt that Carl was more thematic, coherent, and he had more type of a impression wow type of feel. I remember a lot of Carl's collections, like the shopping collection, the robot collection. They're very iconic, and a lot of the pieces were also very iconic and very kind of a wow factor. I feel stuff was more put together, and there were definitely pieces that were more stunning. So the current director, I feel, is more subtle, is more about being comfortable. And I don't know, not all pieces were easy to wear, as you saw from the Catwoman outfit, but more about being more loose fitting, more easy, more subtle. So her clothing is probably easier to wear, but in terms of wow factor, I felt that Carl had more of a storyline and more of a wow factor. So that's my general feeling. I don't know a lot about the two, but that's kind of my general feeling, having been a consumer of Chanel maybe for the past 5 to 10 years. I don't know. What do you think, Sarah?
I don't really have that much of an opinion because I honestly wasn't a really big fan of Carl in the first place. And once again, I'm not very big into Chanel, but I do think that I'm kind of standing with what I said earlier, that Virginie is just trying to put herself in there, and she's working in a really difficult situation. I mean, we're in a pandemic. No one's buying formal clothes. Where are they even going to go? So she's trying to also bring in that Y2K trend, the boxier fit, because you want to be comfortable when you're Zooming or something. And I think that's just really difficult for her. So, yeah.
Okay. Another interesting comment from Justin. Hi, Justin. So she brought up Bottega, and actually, I just to kind of like give my kind of Gen X kind of view on it. I remember when I first came to Hong Kong in 2005 and 6, and oh my goodness, their bags were all the rage. It had this kind of crisscross leather knitted bag, and everyone I knew had one of their bags, including myself. At the time I bought two. So crazy, right? And then I sold one, and I still have one of them. It's like a large hobo bag that goes over the shoulder, and it would look really great with like a big cashmere jacket, which, you know, come on, like stupid. I'm not going to wear a cashmere jacket these
Yeah.
days. So I'm still saving that bag thinking, well, if I go back to Canada one day, I can wear it over like a beautiful cashmere jacket. Anyways, the bag was huge. I still have that bag. I'm considering to sell it, but you know what has been really interesting is that when I take it out of the cabinet where it's in storage right now, the leather is so lush. It is so beautiful, and the craftsmanship on that bag is so nice. I mean, the leather is probably a lot nicer than even some of the Chanel bags, and that's probably kind of the only thing kind of holding me back from selling it. But it is a big bag, so I probably should sell it. But you know, Bottega was so popular back then, especially for their large hobo bags and their leather. And I saw the new creative director. I think you mentioned he was from Celine or something, but the
Okay,
new
so
collection of clothes
actually,
I really like. But
yeah.
go ahead, let me know what you think of the new Bottega designer.
Yeah, so I think once you went to Hong Kong, that was Bottega was super popular, and then after a little bit, it kind of faded down. They were doing the same thing over and over, and it was connected to an older crowd, an older, richer crowd, and that's not cool. And for a long time, it wasn't cool, and it wasn't doing well. So Bottega was very lucky because Phoebe Philo ended up leaving Celine. That's when I think Eddie Slimane went to Celine right after Phoebe Philo left, and then Phoebe went to Bottega, and she turned Bottega into Celine 2.0, basically, with her own take on revolutionizing the old Bottega, and she did an amazing job. And I think what really helped was once she left Celine, Celine almost turned into old YSL, that whole Eddie Slimane look. So people were kind of clawing for that old Celine, the Phoebe Philo Celine, and they found that in New Bottega.
Mm.
And they did a great job, but the pricing was insane. And I think she did a really good job of adding her own twist on something that is once again a heritage brand. And now that she's gone, there's a new creative director. I think his name is Daniel Lee. And he's more understated. I think he's doing a great job with footwear. Those are super popular right now, but I'm starting to think that it's getting old, and I'm excited to see what they have in the future. But he has taken down Bottega from all social media, so I'm excited to just keep an eye on what they're doing.
Yeah, I think a lot of people are really into the shoes from Bottega. There's the one that looks like a net, and then it's got like the gold chain
Mhm.
around it, and also the sandals with the square toe box is like really popular right now too. I haven't tried them. I don't know if they're comfortable, but I do know that a lot of people are totally into the brand, and I like the new simplistic style of some of their clothing. I've seen some of them on Net-a-Porter. I haven't gone into the shop, but it does remind me a lot of Celine. And I really miss the Celine type of kind of simple, sleek look, but still very feminine, but very corporate also in some ways.
Yeah,
You know, there
definitely.
aren't that many brands that
It
can
was
kind
a
of pull off
strong
that look.
woman. Yeah.
Yeah, really strong woman look. Are there any other brands you think that are closer to Celine that are kind of like a strong woman look?
I think that a lot of brands are similar. I mean, the row is pretty similar. I think for something newer, there's, crap, what is that called? They have the little bralettes that are knit. Katie Holmes wears it a lot. I forget the name of it. If anyone knows the name, drop it down. But a lot of people are into that, and I think they're very similar. Now I'm really annoyed because I feel like I'm gonna look it up.
All
Um,
right. So actually, someone, while we're waiting for you to look that up, there's a comment that says that Carl is amazing in Chanel, but in his own brand seems very simple. Same with Marc Jacobs. Your thoughts? Go ahead. What is the brand
Okay,
that
it's
you?
called Kate. Khaite. Kate.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
I've been seeing a lot of their ads on
Mhm.
Instagram, and I've seen some
Super popular now.
YouTubers.
Mhm.
Yeah,
Super
they're very
popular.
popular.
Very material based, just like that, but a little bit more girly and a little more sexier. So I think those are similar brands. Sorry, now going back to this can. Okay, Carl is amazing in Chanel. Yes, his own brand seems very simple. Okay, that's the thing. This isn't, he wasn't really working on this. This was just a side thing, a money grab. If you can't afford Chanel, but you like Carl, you're going to go buy his smaller Karl Lagerfeld, whatever brand. And that's just a gateway for people who don't have that income to be a part of him. So yeah, I mean, it is very simple. The designs aren't good. They're kind of almost copied from other things, and it's not, it doesn't really have a personality or anything, but I'm not a fan of it, but I do applaud it for trying to get that other consumer that wasn't able to be within larger Chanel into something that Carl has a part of. Same with Marc Jacobs. I think Marc Jacobs is a little bit different. I mean, Marc Jacobs did start out as a creative director in other places as well. Marc Jacobs, I think he's pretty famous. Did he work at Perry Ellis? I don't know. Maybe it was a different one. But he also was a creative director of Louis Vuitton, if you didn't know that. And then he works at his own label, Marc Jacobs. And I think there's a little bit of a difference when you think of Marc Jacobs because the average thing is you think of the purses. I mean, I'm wearing Marc Jacobs right now, and they have a lot of smaller collabs, and they just released a new I don't know if it's a diffusion line, but a smaller brand within it called Heaven with the help of Ava Nope. She's great. And she's very good with like social media and getting the younger crowd into Marc Jacobs. So I think that was a great pull for them, that Heaven line. But then they also have their Runway line, and that's kind of getting more in the thousands. So that's what's difficult about Marc Jacobs is you can be buying from the Runway line, that's maybe $1,200 for a nice top or dress. Then you get to regular Marc Jacobs and you're paying $400 for something. And then you get to the smaller brand, which is Heaven, that just recently came out, and you're paying $100 for a shirt. So there's just a lot of different levels in there, but they're all underneath Marc Jacobs, which is different than Chanel because Chanel is its own brand and Carl is working within that brand, but then Karl Lagerfeld is his own personal brand. So I hope that clears that up for you.
Yeah, I remember a couple of years ago, I did wear quite a bit of Marc Jacobs because the stuff was a bit more affordable and some of the designs were pretty unique and the color were really unique and quite fun, actually. So actually, Sarah, you're wearing something on Marc Jacobs. Can you show us the shirt that you're wearing?
Yes, I splurged. My parents were really mad at me for buying this because, as I said, I have my job and I'm broke. But the reason why I bought this was because I'm a huge fan of Magda Archer. She's one of my favorite designers, and this is a collaboration between Marc Jacobs and Magda Archer. Marc Jacobs does a lot of collaborations. He's done it with the Four Seasons. They've done it with, which is a hotel, obviously. They've done it with Four Seasons. They've done it with Peanuts. They've done it with the New York Times. Yeah, and this is one with Magda Archer. I personally love Magda Archer. I've loved her for a long time. She was also featured in a Comme des Garçons ad, which is another reason why I like it a lot. And once I heard that they were doing a collab, I knew I had to get it right away because it's just really funky. It's really cool. It's quirky. They all have little sayings on them. I know Auntie has one. What does yours say on it?
Yeah, I have a few of them. One of them is I think I have one My Life is Crap, and then there's another one I can't remember which
You have
one
one that
I
says like
have.
keep on
Oh,
jumping
I'm
or
going to
something.
die
So
lonely,
that
the one with the little teddy bear.
yeah.
It's like a koala and then it says I'm going to die lonely or whatever. It's just
Yeah,
kind of like a fun piece just to, and then
definitely.
I think there's like a recent one that something about my life is like similar to crap or whatever it is.
Yeah.
But it's just kind of like a fun statement piece. And I knew nothing about Magna Archer before you actually introduced her to me. And we have like a similar same shirt. So Sarah bought for me. I don't have it on me right now, but another Marc Jacobs t-shirt. It was like a part of the Havana
Heaven,
kind
yeah.
of heaven kind of
Yeah.
collaboration with the double-headed teddy bears. So actually, I really like that shirt. And at the time, the person I was shopping with was not so keen on it. So I kind of like, just left it. And then Sarah said, "Oh, it's actually really cool. You should get it." And she actually gifted it to me. So it's actually in my closet right now. But yeah, I think it's a very fun brand. Um, Oh, here's an interesting question from Kat. Hi, Kat. So thank you, Kat, for joining us on the live today. She's actually in quarantine right now, and she's going to be freed from her quarantine in, I don't know if she's out yet. It's 12 o'clock, so she's going to be leaving her quarantine in Singapore after 14 days. Good luck, Kat, and congratulations. You're a free girl. So maybe we can answer her question here. Who would you like to see to do a collaboration with at Chanel? Because they did something with Pharrell.
Okay, I'm gonna say that thank you for bringing up Pharrell Williams. He is a fashion pioneer. Um, and a lot of people who I think that was awesome because it was a bridge. A lot of people who are into more homey or even streetwear or the original hip hop. Pharrell was a huge figure, and he's also good friends with a lot of people who have literally changed fashion for what it is, and he is a really big part of that as well. So, and he also has his own brands. So just to see him collaborate with something that's almost like so opposite was really cool because it was a bridge between the two different worlds of fashion, something that he was super against, and now he's coming together with it. And I don't really know about a collaboration for Chanel. What do you think?
I don't know. Collaboration. I don't know any of the designers well enough to say that a collab would be really good. I mean, when they did the Pharrell collab, I was invited to kind of like their private screening for the clothes that they collabed on. And when I walked in, I was like, what's this? um, I'm so used to Carl and his looks. It's kind of like a very polished, classy type of look. And when I walked in, it was like more hip hop, and
Well, he was a big figure of
if
hip hop.
yeah, it wasn't,
Exactly.
Chanel is not typically the type of place that I would go for that type of look. Like if I wanted a more hip hop look, I'd like look at things like Supreme or Vetements, which was a bit more popular around that time. So I don't know if they were trying to, hop onto this hip hop trend because it was younger. Maybe, like I said, they're trying to look younger. And so they're trying to cater to these people who have more of this kind of like joggers, large t-shirts type of look. But I mean, like they were successful because if you look at the pieces on places like Vestiaire Collective, they're going for like really high prices. So obviously there must be a crowd that really likes it. It might not be me. Maybe I'm just too conservative as a Gen X. I mean, were any of your friends crazy about this collection?
I actually did have a few friends splurge on it, and they weren't even Chanel fans. But I mean, Pharrell is cool. He's super swaggy. Um, he's like the epitome of being cool and young. He even looks young, and he's not even young anymore. Like he's not in his like prime time when he was producing. So yeah, that was an awesome call on Chanel's part. But I don't really know who they could collab with design wise that would work very well because I'm not really educated on Chanel that much, to be honest.
Mm. Do you have any favorite designers that you think would fit well with Chanel?
Um, I honestly don't know. I
Mm.
do think that it was interesting for them to pair with, um, like, the just, like, Jenny, even though they're not putting out a full collection, just to have her as, an ambassador because she's young and a lot of young girls, could be I mean, their young girls are gonna be their future consumers, so they're just trying to nudge that in there before these girls get older and start purchasing Chanel.
Yeah. I mean, Jenny looks good in everything she wears.
Yeah, she's so cute. I love her. Yeah.
Question here about bags having no resale value. Um, I don't know. I just want to see what you think. I mean, are your friends when they're buying a bags, are they like thinking about resale value when they're buying bags or not really?
I think it depends. I Most of my friends are not. If they like it, they're getting it, they like it. Um, but I think it's getting more and more important to think about resale value because we're trying to be more circular with purchasing, and it's not good to just keep buying and buying and then hoarding, and when other people can enjoy it way more than you can. So I don't really buy for resale because it's not something that really hits my mind. I'm also not buying anything that has any worth in the first place, so I wouldn't even be able to resell it. And neither are my friends, but I know you also think about resale value because you're more of like an experienced consumer.
Yeah, I mean, some of these bags don't have great resale value, but I like diversity in my bag collection. So as much as I love my Chanel and Hermes, sometimes they do get a bit boring for me. Um, so sometimes, if you have limited funds and you want to be able to, circular economy or to repurchase other bags with, a limited pool of funds, that is definitely something that is important. However, if there are bags that are more reasonably priced or bags that I feel I can get a lot of cost per wear out of, I don't mind if the resale value is going to go down. It's kind of like my Chanel re-edition 2005 bag. So it's the nylon bag that has the crossbody strap and then the little pouch. So this could be a trendy bag. And it wasn't very expensive for a designer handbag to start off with. And I might need to resell it at a loss, but I was able to use that bag to death, especially in 2020 when it was a pandemic year. So I don't mind if I don't get much back for that bag, because I was able to get a lot of good cost per wear out of it. So if you think there's a bag or any item that you can get really good cost per wear out of, then maybe that's less of a consideration. Or if you think you'd be able to use it a lot for a couple of years, then to me it's still worth it. But obviously, if you do plan on changing your bags a lot, then the resale value could be definitely a reconsideration. Okay, we're done past the hour. How are you, Sarah? Are you feeling
So
okay?
I'm a bit tired because we're in like opposite sides of the world right now.
Yeah, what time is
So
it in New York right now?
it's 11:13 p.m.
Okay. Okay. We're just going to do two more items from this collection very quickly. I wanted to comment on handbags because I know a lot of people in my community are very into the handbags. I think everybody is already knows about the handbag collection, so I'm not going to talk too much about it. If you were to ask me what's a good bag from this collection, I think everyone has already seen this all over the place is the Chanel mini flap with this top handle. So for the first time, the mini flap is coming back in caviar or grain calfskin in a very long time. I believe the last time they did something in caviar was a couple of years ago. So for someone who is wanting the mini in caviar, they have this, I believe, in white, black, gold, and silver. This is a seasonal bag, but I don't know if they'll make it classic. I personally still like the classic one a bit more. However, it is convenient to have that top handle. What do you think of this bag, Sarah?
I think it's cute. I don't see anything special about it, and it's kind of looks impractical, and it's white, so I see the handle of it getting grimy every time you pick it up
Mm.
and put it down and pick it up, and then it's gonna get, like, squishy and gross.
Yeah. So you could put a twilly on it, I guess, if you really
Mhm.
wanted to. And it also comes in black. So if you're concerned about, it being white and pristine, that's the other option. And to be honest, for me, when I buy bags, I barely buy white. They're so gorgeous, but you would just have to be more careful with it. So that's the only bag here you can see. It's in silver. That was a bit more interesting to me. Some of these other bags, I was less interested. Like, this looks a bit too busy, and with pearls, there's always the worry that the strands could come off. I don't know if it's comfortable. So, yeah, to me, this was kind of the only more interesting bag. And in terms of costume jewelry, I think you were mentioning about like the small bag trend. So now Chanel
I
has
love
made all
that.
these necklaces,
I need that.
earrings, and a side sling. I would call it an ornament. I mean, it's really cute to look at, and I think it's very,
Reminds me of
unique.
Valentino, right?
Did
Very similar to
Valentino did something
Valentino.
so similar?
Yeah, Valentino did some similar stuff to that.
Yeah, and then they have it on like the bracelet, and that would just really annoy me because it's like in the way. And, you know, I don't know if I would actually go out looking like this with like this tiny.
I
I
would.
mean, I think it makes nice Instagram photos, but I don't know if I would go out wearing it like this. So, I don't know. Would you wear this necklace?
Breath mints in it.
Breath mints in it. And then it's got a lot of these hanging.
I don't like that.
Yeah. The cuff is okay, I think. It's
Yeah.
nothing special. It reminds me of the Hermes click
Okay.
clack bracelets, so maybe that's what they're going for. So this is still kind of okay, but yeah, everything else not really. I like the pop color, the pink on this,
Yeah,
but
of
I
course you
mean,
do.
it's nothing special. Yeah. So yeah, those are my kind of overall kind of thoughts on the spring summer 2021 collection, especially the clothes. So we're already past the 1 hour mark. So, and it's quite late in New York.
Yeah, if you have any
So,
questions, you can type them in now. We'll give you 10 seconds. And then if
yes.
not, you can totally message us in on Instagram or on YouTube, whatever, and we can get back to you.
Yeah, so if you're watching the replay of this live stream, please feel free to put your questions or comments down in the description box or the comment section down below. And if there's anything you want myself and Sarah to talk about in a future video or live stream, feel free to suggest it, and we'll see if we will use this format to do another video again. And of course, please follow Sarah on Instagram. Her hashtag is ILOVESARABETH. And she's also here on YouTube, ILOVESARABETH. And I will put links down to her channel below. And so thank you so much, you guys, for joining us, whether you're joining us from East Coast where it's really late, or if you're in Asia, it's probably noontime and lunch for a lot of you. So thank you so much for joining us today, and we hope to see you next time. Have a great weekend, everyone.
Bye.
Bye bye.